Well, good evening, everybody. Got a little Artemis theme going tonight. We're going to the moon and back. Hope you're doing well. Glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. We're going to have a great time here, just in kind of a chill mode, I think, tonight. And interestingly, about maybe an hour or so ago, I had the opportunity to um, experience and practice exactly what we're going to talk about tonight. So it's just as real here, just as real here. So glad to see you guys. I would like to thank Kristen for sitting in last week. I really needed it, and yeah, I've been pushing hard, as you know. And hi, Mary. That's my neighbor. Oh, awesome. The Kellers are in the house. How are you guys tonight? Glad to see you here. Hug that baby for me. Oh, all right. See, I was just treading water. Now we can start. Got it. Hey, Felicity, I really enjoyed your posts when I've been able to peek in. And Pam, oh my gosh, Pam was just not far from here, and we weren't able to connect because of all this stuff that I've had going on. But you know how it is. I mean, anybody who has ever written a book, you know that you sequester. And that's the way it is with audiobooks. And I had not one, not two, not three, but four. And if you throw my book in that I still haven't finished, that's five. So it's been, yeah, it's been incredible, just amazing. So glad you guys are here. We're going to, like I said, we're probably not going to go as long tonight, and I have a great theme. So we're going to dig in here. I did pull a card for this evening's session from our figure if I do it like that, it doesn't chroma key out, see? And then I got the book and I got the card and I've got it marked and the whole thing right here. So we pulled the Seven of Chariots card. Obviously, this is one of the major cards. And on the positive side, the Light Seer, victory, speed and action, determination, harnessing and uniting opposing energies, success, travel, confidence, willpower, control. And on the shadow side, lack of energetic focus, lack of self discipline, going in the wrong direction, a tendency to speed past the needs of others. Not only what a lot of you said that it sounded like this past week, but also what happened just out here a few minutes ago. Just incredible. So here's what it says: the universe constantly gifts us with the opportunity to become the person that we want to be. Synchronicities. And that's what this was. I'm sure had to have been a synchronicity. It's a magical time for taking inspired action. Push ahead with willpower and determination because you will get there. Woohoo! Remember, inaction is the same as deciding to stay still. The chariots remain The chariot reminds, sorry. The chariot reminds you that that while you are on I've been doing so much of this, it's almost like, would somebody please read this? The chariot reminds you that you are on the way to your goal. You need to make decisions about your best path forward. If you feel pulled in two different directions, know that you will be able to coax both of these energies toward the same target. Charging ahead without paying attention to your path can sometimes be harmful to those in your wake. So be careful not to trample on others on your way up the mountain. Choose the things you really want. Focus your efforts and move swiftly. If you aren't sure what your direction is, then it's time to make some plans, align goals, and spark dreams. I love that. And the little quote: choosing who I am becoming, and I run, oh, I am choosing who I am becoming, and I run toward it with conviction. See, this is why I quit this afternoon. Take two. That's where you rewind and you hit record again. I choose who I am becoming, and I run toward it with conviction and consistent motion. There we got it. Oh, mercy. That's fun. What an amazing deck. I love that deck. So, um, I have some let's just go into this. I have some stuff here that I thought maybe we would do. Uh, this one was just left over from last week or 2 weeks ago, and it's Gene 14-day gratitude challenge that you get a text message, and I understand those who are international, it either works or it doesn't, but there's a blog, so you'll get it even if you have to just go online and get it, but if for those in the US and Canada, you get a text every day, and there's the web URL. If you would like to join that, it's completely free, and when it ends, they just send you a mine completed, and I know a lot of you have been in there and yours completed, and you just get a, "Hey, if you'd like to leave a comment," and that's it. Great little program. Now, these were left over, and I thought, we've got a little theme here. So, not inconsequential that these were there. And I thought, it's holiday gift time. This is Stevie's chart art. Now, I don't know if she could get one done by Christmas. Probably not. But you could gift it with the idea that it would be delivered in January. If you wanted to give an astrology gift, that's her website. And these will all be on the recording. So you can go back as soon as this is over. You can go back. We're only a couple of minutes in here, about what, 5 and 7, 12 minutes in, and you can pick these up. Also, Lynn Schaefer, the Beautiful Mind coach. And those were the two slides that we had from a couple of weeks ago. And then I thought, well, if you need some holiday gift ideas, look at what all we have here. So on this is now the store is kind of relegated over there at funastrology.com. So we have 3 readers, Marilyn Michelle, Laura Taft, Delia Golden, and then Caroline Horn. And I'm going to come back and talk about Caroline in a minute. Let me make a note on that so that I do not forget. Caroline, I'll come back and tell you about that. And then we're going to be adding Lizzie Grace Christie. And she is young, edgy, does the asteroid goddesses, and she's quite a great little astrologer. I know that Kristen's going to be doing some reading too. Stevie's doing readings. Lynn, and then of course the dean Robert Glasscock is booking, but he's booking out into now probably February, but still possible. And then Mary, my neighbor here, said she does this singing Reiki that is just beautiful, and she does it remotely. And she said that she could take a few people that if you wanted to get in, as she is kind of doing the pre, she's not getting certified. She's been doing this for a long time, and she's actually a licensed minister, but she is doing them for free right now, but won't be next year. So there's her email address if you'd like to contact her for a session. And those were just some gift ideas. So if you have friends who are of this same kind of mind, there are some resources for you. How about that? So cool. All right. Now we're going to roll into this because this is the gist of what was coming up for a lot of us this week. And Sarah put a wonderful post in the Facebook group that a lot of you responded to. And I just pulled some of the responses that seemed to reflect what general consensus was of people saying that they've been hit pretty hard. And I didn't put the names, I just was just respecting everybody. If you're in there, you can read the post. But just saying that crash and burn kind of thing. A lot of people mention the weather, and I'll tell you what, the weather in North Carolina the last 2 or 3 weeks has been terrible. I mean, it's like gray, cloudy, cold. Yesterday, the sun peeked out, and I mean, people were out. It was so refreshing. Just absolutely, environmentally, we respond to it. There's no question. So people saying that it's cold. Kids at school, for the teachers, full moon, are you kidding? If you want to know or if you doubt that full moons do have an effect on things, talk to a teacher. We have several in our group right here, right now. They're already in there. I've seen them. So You could reach out, "Hey, is that really true about full moons?" Uh, and then I've been experiencing extremely low energy all week, feeling lonely and sad, which is not like me. Wow. I'm a Capricorn, wondering if this has something to do with it. I sure hope it passes soon. I mean, the thing is these comments are from all kinds of, signs, so I don't think it's relegated to any one thing. These are so cool pictures. This Artemis thing, this was a shot. You can see the capsule is behind the moon. And I know, everybody's gonna get on and say, "Oh, it was Photoshop." And it may have been. It absolutely may have been. It still is a cool shot. It's a great where the capsule was in the sunlight. I think it went that far back on the backside of the moon. I think that was part of the flight path. But I thought I would show you the real pictures here as well. And then somebody said, they're in Canada, and the temperature has been quite cold, very cold. Um, and then I love that last one. Person said, "I'm not feeling so alone after reading these." There's the honesty accompanying the other responses. So, um, we've all been feeling this. There's the shot of the capsule after it landed this afternoon. That's just so cool, is it not? So, so, so cool. Reminds me back of the '60s when that door would open and those astronauts would wave to everybody that they were okay. And then I'm gonna show you this one because I have some quotes up that we're going to leave up. So, um, I wanted to show you the shot first. The resolution on these now, of course, what we're able to capture now versus 50, 60 years ago is incredible. But isn't that just an amazing shot? So if you felt the full moon last week, there's the culprit right there. But I thought, "Look, we need to pull it up." And then this is what I got tested on tonight, right out here. I am loving awareness. And then the one that I just love, I am living my highest timeline today. I am the co-creator of my reality. And then I just thought of this one, add in there, I am loving and lovable. Just be loving and lovable, like cuddly, right? So, I realized that this week has not been so wonderfully adorable and, theoretical as this list of, "Oh, yeah, everything's great, I'm all loving and awareness, and I'm doing fantastic." Yeah, I mean, the comments, spoke otherwise. So, and then, like I said, I was getting ready to come on here, and I've just been working hard all week, it's like escape zone, up there in the booth, and for me, it's been a fairly decent week, just, a lot of work, but it's work that I love, so, I mean, when you love your work, um, it's enjoyable. So, then I come down here, and just a little something happened outside while I was getting some stuff out of my car, that reminded me it triggered some stuff from childhood, a very sad situation in my childhood that I'm not gonna bring in 'cause I don't wanna bring the energy in, but basically a dog was killed was the situation, and it just was sad, and it left a mark, and something triggered that, and, I had to come back in here, and I got the sage spray, and I pulled the card, and I did the little, you know, and just bringing it in. So I thought maybe one thing we could do here right now is just to exhale this past week. So let's just take a minute, and then we'll do an "Om" at the end of that. But let's just take some good, deep exhale breaths and let it go, all of it. All right? However you want to do it. I mean, you want to, blow it out, or if you want to, Just the awareness, let it go. All of it. Whatever was there, push it out. In your space, just the space that you have right there around you, try to get as neutral as you can right now. Just try to get as close to neutral as nothing's good, nothing's bad. We're just all here. We're together. It's safe. We can say how we feel, and we can hug each other. What we do, so it's all okay. Whether you're up and you're like, "I don't know what you people are talking about," or whether you're down or you feel like you almost got attacked or whatever, just neutral. Come to neutral. Come to peace. Come to love. Love the situations that have been challenging. Oh, we can create little zen zones for ourselves. And one of the zen zones that I have is up there in that audio booth. And something came to me while I was working on the astrology book. I mean, which is more heady than hearty, right? This was not like Fred's book is Clearing Entities, which is a big spiritual exercise, like one of the biggest. But the astrology book is more, and something came to me about my relationship with my son that was so revealing. It was one primary incident, s snapshot, movie scene in my mind that just instantly came to me out of nowhere. Nothing that I was reading triggered this, just ready for it to happen, because my relationship with my kids has been on my heart a lot here over the last several months, and what I do, back to that highest timeline quote, what I do to support this is to just ask. So to say, "I am living my highest timeline, and please reveal what needs to be revealed that I need to see or do in order to be on my highest timeline." And this scene just came from nowhere, and I mean, it was right here, and it was something that I had done in a not since the time that I've certainly started living this kind of life, and, my kids were there, and it was not a moment that so I had to clear. I mean, it was something that I'm not proud of or would want to ever re-experience. And then another scene came to mind that showed me where my son's pain is coming from, and it was something else I did. And then a third scene came, and I was like, "Okay, okay, I get it, that's enough." And so now I'm sitting with that, and all of a sudden, I see exactly his perspective. I'm like, "Wow, he's just carrying it." Okay, so now the healing begins here first, and then not pushing it. I didn't go jump on I don't do that. Oh my gosh. I don't think that's good advice. That used to be in the church. "Oh, you need to ask forgiveness of somebody." No, hold on a minute. The work is here first. Don't go running off involving other people in your stuff. Do the work here. So that's the stage I'm in, and that'll be a lot of time in that journal over there, and it'll be a lot of time probably with some pillow cries and whatnot else. But the first thing I have to do is get physically clear of all of this stuff because I realize that my spiritual motor is running basically tied to what that stuff is upstairs that I'm working on. So when that moves out, and by the way, those of you in Florida, I am planning on being down there. First stop will be to see Cheryl in St. Augustine, and then we'll figure it out from there. But we're going to be doing some live podcasts and other stuff, and back in the van, I'm going to do some. stuff in the van. So hopefully from some campgrounds, and we'll figure out the Wi-Fi and all that. But I think Kristen will help me out here a week or 2 of that jaunt, but I'm gonna be down there for a good chunk of January. So the hard work that's going on now is gonna be rewarded with coming to see you guys in Florida. We're gonna get the road show back on the road here. So, um, so, the healing to me, the process is to work through it so that I'm clear with myself and self-forgiven and that I have a new path. Now, this is not these things that came up are not things that I would do consciously today. So there's one part of the shift, but yeah, you move it on out. So, um, let me get caught up with your comments here. Let me run back up here and just see. Ah, hey, Lyra, Jack, Ashley. Oh, this is cool. Wow, that is cool. Um, see what else we've got going here. I'm just trying to catch up on some of these. Okay. Oh, wow. Hey, Brittany. Oh, Esmon, glad you mentioned this. Right now, in the evening, right at sunset, if you have a good view of the full horizon, so it's almost like you need to be in a flatter area. You can see Mars in the east, and then, let's see, Jupiter is up above, Saturn is about 45 degrees this way, and then Mercury and Venus are right on the horizon at sunset. So if you guys would like to see the 5 brightest planets, they're all visible in the sky if you have that kind of shot. I don't know if I'm going to get to, it's just like, right now, it's for a couple of days, won't be around very, much, but thank you for triggering that thought. Um, mm, I'm not sure who this is, but I'm sorry, and, yeah, yeah, so for those gone, mm, hmm. Wow, Liz, I didn't realize that. Yeah, it was emotional. It was it was really something. Come on, and we'll see how the tour I'm going to be over in the Panhandle to end it. I'm gonna be coming up that way. So, uh, yeah, one of these days. So, so the healing, I think, is recognizing what energy we're in right now. Like, do you realize that Saturn and Pluto, I talk about this a lot, right? Saturn and Pluto that conjoined in January of 2020 that basically brought us that will not be back. Like, good riddance. They'll be back at the same degree, but not exactly at the same degree in minute for 750 years. It's 3 Pluto cycles. Realize how big of a deal this is? How much there is that we brought here to work on? Now, in the Fun Astrology podcast on Tuesday, we're going to talk about some of the stuff that's ahead in 2023. So, we're not gonna go into that here, but if you'd like to hear that, that will be on Tuesday, and then we're going to drill down on some of that. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, that's the place to get that information, and we'll be talking about that quite a bit. But I think what we need to do so in light so this week was kind of a wake up, and boy, I mean, you listen to Fun Astrology, you know, for a week at least ahead of this full moon, we were talking about this being a conflicted kind of energy, that it could be tense. In fact, I was, like, surprised that well, I say so much is happening in the world that's not in the United States, and you just don't think that, well, nothing happened to me. There was no volcano in my backyard. Well, that doesn't mean that 25 people didn't get the bright idea that they could overthrow the German government. Think about that. Think about what that means. Somebody was so disturbed that they thought that 25 people could take over an entire government, or a leader who goes to work one day and decides that he was going to throw out his whole Congress. That happened in Peru, and then all the Ring of Fire volcanoes and everything else. So, I mean, there is and then the Brazil upset about that election is escalating. So there was a lot around the world. It just didn't seem to you might not have been affected. But look at those comments again. I mean, we did feel the energy. So the thing I think we have to do is just to create around it. And we have to realize that we are here at this time for this purpose. And a lot of that is doing the work that we are doing, like encountering these challenging situations and going back and creating our reality within them and standing on the ground that we stand on. I think that's the secret to this, especially right now. Hey, Melissa. Wow. She says, "I'm not crazy. It's been in my dreams." I think it's going to be it's shaping up that it could be a really amazing, uh, year energetically. Probably one we won't forget, like the ones we've been through. I think we'll maybe start to experience. Hey, Alyssa, glad you're here. Um, yeah, no kidding. Maybe that will be part of this. Let's do our meditation. And I'm just thinking kind of chilled out tonight, just a lot more relaxed together. We need each other. I need you. We need each other. We need that energetic bond. I'd like to create or at least put the intention out tonight that what we do this evening, even though I know the energy changes when we say goodnight and we turn everything off, but let's set the intention together that what we do here now lasts through the week. So this one has a longer term effect. And I have no preparation for this, just see where it goes. But let's use that intention of together support so that if something comes up this week and you feel challenged or you feel like you need to lean on that it's there for you still. In other words, the feeling. So what we're going to want to do here is when you're in the peak of the experience tonight, just whatever is like a high point for you, do something to anchor that point physically. You can do I don't know, some people grab their wrist. What are some other things? You could tap, like, if you wanted to just tap, something to stimulate your body. Um, you might want to do something with your hands, like, I don't know, some kind of a hand gesture, maybe do this. That would be a good one. boom, there's the feeling right there. So you feel the high experience, boom. So that will lock it in physically. So that will help you bring the emotion of the meditation and the highest part of the meditation for you back to a physical point. You'll have to know when that is and when to do that, okay? And we will, um, step into this with the idea that we're going to put a lot of support around each other for for the entire week till we're together next weekend. Deal? Alright. Let's start this off with an Om. We'll start our meditation tonight with an Om. So again, let's just discharge the distractions, the energies, the what else is in our way? And, let's do an inhale and we'll say Om together. Oh. And just think the words, I am loving awareness. Let's do this first. Since they're lighting candles tonight for parents who have lost children, if you have a recent loss in your life that still is tender and still is fresh, obviously that can be years ago. Would you just gesture somehow, either raise your hand or put your hand right up on the phone or the keyboard and some way connect, maybe touch the candle, burn yourself. And let us support you with love. Let's start there. So if you've lost somebody, or if you've lost a pet, especially if you've lost a child, if you've lost a parent, lost a sibling, lost a close friend, we are sending you love and support, encouragement, and that moment of physical anchor that you can carry through the week if you need love and support and that loved one comes to mind, you have our love now. We are loving awareness for you at this moment. And we send you all kinds of loving support. And thank you for being strong. And now, what I'd like you to do is to say the name of the loved one or loved ones. Just say their name softly if you're in other with other people, out loud, however you want to, or to yourself. Just speak their name into the space so that we can send that focused love to those names. And do that now. Those names are just now in our energy. wherever in the world you are, they're there. Just send that love, not only support for those of us still left, but now for their memory and what they meant to us while they were here. And now raise the vibration of that whole process. They are no longer in pain. They are no longer in dense energy. They are free. They're the lucky ones. Celebrate their life and their accomplishments while they were here. Now, big group hug for all those who are touching the candle. Big group hug. You guys lock it in. You're being supported right now. Lock it in and let the tears flow if they are. It's okay. We all have folks in our lives that we would give anything to have 10 minutes of a phone call with. Now, let's all touch our keyboard or our tablet. You probably already are. Phone, candle, if you have one going, whatever connection. Just be in the space of loving awareness. We are all still here for growth and contributions and tasks and standing in energy that we still have no idea the full spectrum of it. It's becoming more and more clear every day. So let's now, first of all, thank our source, highest source, God, GD. As I've been reading in Fred's book, he mentions the Jewish people, explicit as saying, don't say the word because you don't want to blaspheme. Really respecting higher source as something we really need right now. However you make that connection, being grateful for choosing and being allowed to incarnate here during this time. There probably was a big waiting list. We got through, and there's still a lot of stuff to be done. Next year is likely going to be the pivot point, one of the pivot points. So realize that we are here for a lot more than our typical Western world conveniences. We're here to do deep work. We're here to support the deep work that's going on the planet. Anybody who has any inkling of what's happening has, I think, a responsibility to support the growth, the shift, the healing. Liz, what's going to come from these challenges with our kids is healing. It's all going to move upward over time. So let's realize, and as we think about just focusing on what's there in your space right at the moment, how can I live on my highest timeline? Ask yourself that. And then ask the universe, what do I need to see? What do I need to experience? What do I need to encounter that would help me do that? Show me gently, and as it is revealed, I will get busy in the way that you do your best spiritual work. And just commit that even when stuff happens, let it pass, let the moment be the moment, and then get back on the train. I am loving awareness. I am the co-creator of my life. I am love and I am lovable, and I am committed to my highest timeline. And realize that even with the energies around us, at the end of the day, the responsibility is up to us. Yes, it's cold outside. It's cold here too. Yes, it gets dark too early. I miss my 8 o'clock walks around that lake. I miss them, but that's not who we are. It's not who I am. It's not who you are. Walk at 3 in the morning with a flashlight. We can make adjustments. And I know it's daily because it's cold here every morning. That popping you're hearing is the heater. Sorry, I thought I had it off. We make adjustments. We move on. We're committed to our highest timeline. So now let's see others in our group. Pick some names. I'm thinking of our wonderful troubadour who gets up at 2 in the morning, Ronaldo. Think of Liz. Think of Melissa. Think of Tom. Tom, glad to see you in here tonight. Kathy, Pam, Brittany, Esmond, Sean and Brielle and Keller, Jack and Ashley and Lyra. So many others of you. Think of somebody that you've seen their name and send them supporting, loving, empowering energy so they can live on their highest timeline. Just intend it. Send them that. Arnaldo, I make it so that you live on your highest timeline, buddy. You got this. You are awesome. And even if you can, if you're in a space where you can, say the name of the person you're sending that energy to. Tom Rebro, I'm sending you supporting energy to live your highest timeline in your family, in your job, with your kids, with your fiance, everything that you're doing and who you are, that you do it on your highest timeline. Try to do 3 people if you think of, and if you need to, scroll back up through the list. Just take the last 3, go all the way to the beginning and take the first 3, take it out of the middle. And what I'm doing now for all of you who are live with us now and then listening to the replay later, sending each one of you individually from my heart to your soul, love, power, confidence, encouragement, support, faith to live your highest timeline. And everything that you need in order to live your fullest is provided to you now. You'll find it. It will be shown. You will have access to it, and it will be gentle. What were the lyrics of Sound of Music? When the dog barks, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad. Remember this moment. Remember your favorite energy things, and then you won't feel so bad. Lock it in. It's yours to keep for the week. And there are a few dozen people that are supporting you from all around the world, from Australia to Europe to the United States to Canada, sending you the same kind of love. You are supported. And now, before we leave this space, let's take all of that supporting, loving energy. It was really intended for you, but if you don't circulate things, if we don't keep things moving, and that energy just gets stale as dry toast. So send that love and that support and that feeling that you feel to the world because it needs it so bad. So just envision a hurting person maybe in your neighborhood, maybe in your family, you may already know exactly. A friend, a coworker, or just somebody out there, and send them love. Send our planet love. We have multiple countries in turmoil. There is so much uncertainty out there right now. Send the world that same love. And last but not least, take a moment and set an intention for your spiritual growth for this week, a theme that you're going to do to live on your highest timeline, even through the challenges. Maybe you need to anchor right now or have something to come back to, something to take with you from here that you will have at your disposal 24/7 for the next 7 days. What's it going to be? Set one intention before we say 3 ohms here. You got it? Lock it in. And let's end this meditation now by sealing all of this energy together with 3 ohms softly. Om. Om. Might be a good time to lock that in too. But I'm not for a minute trying to tell you what to do. Just say it. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. I wish I could name everybody's name. Alyssa, I was thinking about you this week too. Wondering how you doing. Glad you're here. Glad you could make it tonight. You answered my prayer. Hmm. You know, that's part of the yeah, part of the resistance is that and it comes up that, that's that part of us that we have to work through, isn't it? It is. It's that part of us that we have to work through. Awesome. Circulate it. Send it on. Yeah, Tom, if you want, stick it in the Facebook group. Tonight was a little different, and, just coming from a place of more neutrality maybe or something. It just was different tonight. So I'm glad that, it landed for you guys, and, I think the coolest part of tonight is don't resist the process, but then this anchoring, like I did this a couple of times and I'm going to do it. It's easier for me to do it as soon as we finish. I like to just sit in the energy and I'm going to lock in and probably redo those ohms for myself again and um and then capturing that shared energy. So you may not want even to do that. I mean, you can carry this on. It doesn't have to don't go running and checking your phone immediately. But yeah, to stay in that and then to realize that we're going to carry that through the week. So then the next thing that we have to do is remember when we're in that moment and we need to access it, bring it back in. Do the physical motion that you chose and bring that energy back and stand in that space and recommit and remember our oop, let's see if I can get that back up easily. Yeah, there we are. Remember our 4 little points, and that will carry us through. I love you guys. Oh, I know. Isn't this the truth? The other stuff, yeah. All right. You guys have a wonderful, blessed, loving, high timeline week. You've got this. We've all got this. And, remember to support each other. Be seeing you in the Facebook group. I've got one more busy week, but I'm gonna get it all knocked out this week, and then, we'll start thinking about flying south. Hopefully. We'll see. Love you guys. Have a wonderful rest of the evening and great week ahead. Thanks for being here.